Alright, welcome back, good people. On this video, I want to talk about something that we all experience from time to time, but the reason that you shouldn't take it as seriously as it may seem to you at the time is because we all go through it. And that topic is failures. I think about that from time to time when I go through what I consider a failure in my life. Because one of the ways I channel that mindset of failure for me is that I try and do it again. And if it's not a one-time deal where I only get one shot, then by the time I have to do it, I'm gonna probably be able to do it because I'm gonna practice. I'm gonna put aside a slot of time that I can get better at that. And doing that consciously, like if I know that on the 10th of the month, I'm going to have to give a speech, and this is the 1st of the month, I'm going to work on that speech between the 1st and the 9th, right? I'm going to work on that speech consciously. I'm going to, put some time in so that I can understand what I'm saying, how I'm saying it, who I'm saying it to, what type of audience. I need to know all that, right? So that I can, put in little, what they call anecdotes in places that need to be, put in so that the story can flow. It can continue on, right? But failures oftentimes will freeze people, will stop them from going another step further. I've seen it 100 times. As a matter of fact, not only do they not go another step further, they go another direction altogether. They leave that alone because it has that type of effect, which means to me, did you do the research to find out if that's really what you wanted to do? Because see, things occupy time in life. Time is our most valuable asset. So you have to concern yourself for, if you will, when someone requires your time, when someone asks of your time. How much time are they asking? What am I going to be doing? Am I going to be in any type of danger? How long am I going to be there? All those things are relevant, right? It really is. But depending on who it is, we a lot of times don't even take that into consideration. And we shouldn't if it's, family, friends, and stuff like that. We have to make exceptions along this journey. But for someone who just wants to do nothings, what I call do nothings, have, 45 minutes of an hour of your time doing nothing or doing something non-productive or talking about, people or negative things, I'm going to pass on that, right? There are a few things I could be doing now that I'd rather be doing. But getting back to this famous failures, I want to share some a list of some things that you may or people you may or may not know that made the list, so to speak. But I'm going to start with one you probably know. His name is Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln failed in business 3 times and failed campaigning 7 times prior to becoming president of the United States. Now, that's pretty severe failing, when you're trying to get the same thing, but that's persistence also. Because, see, the dynamics change of everything, right? This is one of the things that I've learned over time. What may seem out of your reach today because of what you perceive to be a certain way, you should discount. Because just because you see a certain way doesn't mean that if you keep forward, the world or the universe, I like to call it, won't align to give you what you seek. And that's really how you get what you seek, is you have to identify what that is for yourself and go forward. And then the world will align with you and give you what you seek. And how does it give it to you? It doesn't just give it to you like, here, take it, Larry. It brings people in your world. It brings situations in the right time. It, puts people in place that you have no concept about. No belief that you should be doing that. But since you want it and you know that you want it, you're committed to getting it, you can get it. You can have it. If you understand it on that level, my God, a light will go on. You'll be like, wait a minute, what? I can do that? Yeah, it's going to take time, it's going to take sacrifice, it's going to take effort, and it might take repetition. Like he had to run for president 7 times, but he made it, right? Another one was Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was cut from a high school basketball team for a lack of skill. Now, if you can imagine that, probably the most famous basketball player or celebrated basketball player of all time, right? Incredible. Another one was J.K. Rowling, who wrote Harry Potter. J.K. Rowling was unemployed, divorced, and raising a daughter on Social Security while writing her first Harry Potter novel. Her novel, Harry Potter, was rejected by 12 publishing houses. Now, had she stopped at publishing house number 3 or publishing house number 5, now you think about that now. You not only write a book, but you got to submit these to different publishing houses to accept it, right? But she had the fortitude or the wherewithal to continue on, and that brings the results. See, if you really believe in what you do, or you don't discount who you are, then somebody else will see that too. Somebody else will come into your world, just like I was telling you. The universe will bring somebody that can change the results that you would have gotten or the results that you're getting. And that's a good thing. Bill Gates was a Harvard University dropout, and his first business failed. Well, I think that it takes a lot of aligning to be one of the richest men in the world. So, there's some other things that go into that dynamic. But the failure part is what you want to focus on with this. Because just because you're not the richest man in America doesn't mean that, you're not, failure proof. Another was, Colonel Sanders. Colonel Harlan David Sanders of Kentucky Fried Chicken couldn't sell his chicken, and more than 1,000 restaurants rejected him. How do you get to 1,000 though? I mean, don't you stop at 35 or 70? How do you get to 1,000? I don't know. But he had the fortitude, right? He did what it took to make it work. Steve Jobs, at 30 years old, he was left devastated and depressed after being unceremoniously removed from the company he started. Let me say that again. He started the company and they removed him. Can you imagine that? Thomas Edison, his teachers told him he was too stupid to learn anything. What? That's right. So that's another good caveat. Don't let people tell you what they perceive about you and you take that as being your reality. Because see, if you do that, then I can tell you anything about what I feel about you, and you will forever stay in that little box, because that's what that little box holds, are people like that, like I just described. If you're a scum of the world, this is the scum of the world box, right? They don't participate in this part of the world. That's just that little box right there. So don't let people give you their perception of you, and you make that your reality. You make your reality. You create who you are, and you show the world who you are. Because you show the world who you are every time you open your mouth. Every time someone hears who you are, they identify with that, right? They identify with how you act, your mannerisms, how you sound, the actions you take. We look at that, right? And we make a determination or a decision based on that. If you are applying for a job that I have, and you come in here into my system, and you are not respectful, you are not on time, you are not courteous, you will not be hired. Right? That's the way they work. You have to when in Rome, do as the Romans, right? Now, that may not even be your nature, but you have to do that well, while you have hit your hand in the lion's proverbial mouth, right? You got to do that. Now, another thing about failure that I like to share just from my own perspective is don't go through what you're going through looking for failure. Let failure find you, right? Don't think, well, if I do that, no, that won't work because of that. Yeah, you have to process things that way, but then you have to continue on and don't worry about that being a part of what's going to happen. And then if it happens, you make the adjustments. Hopefully it won't happen, but if it does, you adjust. That's how life is worked. I don't know from the time I get up in the morning to the time I go to bed at night what's going to happen during that day. But whatever does happen, I will adjust to. Good, bad, or indifferent. Right? Good, bad, or indifferent. That's called life. Now, if I can't adjust to it, then I have a problem. I have a serious problem with self. I need to identify why is that bothering me so much? Why am I letting that matter to me so much? Right? Like, have you ever been in a situation and you were like yelling and shouting at somebody and all of a sudden you said, why am I so mad? You know, they just stepped in front of me, or they were just talking about that person, they weren't talking about me. Why am I so mad about that? Because there's something within you that's off balance, right? You know, we have to stay on balance, and then you can do anything as long as you can come back to center, right? You don't want to do too much of this, or you don't want to do too much of that, but you can do a little. Well, just come back to center. If you can come back to center, you can go through life, and that's kind of like being the way life works. You can either be proactive or you can be reactive. And I believe that you can be both. I believe it's necessary to be both from time to time. Because I believe the people who are reactive are good listeners. You know, I believe the people who are proactive are very creative originators. They think about stuff. They can put things in their mind in a place that they can see it before others can see it, right? But when you're reactive to a situation in the wrong way, because you can react totally off key to something that happened, like something small could happen and you just lose your mind. You ever seen that? People just lose their mind. You're like, wow, why? What happened? Well, he just knocked the fork out of him. What? And what? He knocked the fork out of his hand. And he, you know, doing all that. So, you know, you have to kind of understand it's a people world. We're in this world together. And we try to get along, we try to understand one another, but understanding self is hard enough. So you know it's difficult to understand you, and when that's not even your responsibility. My responsibility is not to understand you, and yours is not to understand me. My responsibility is to understand who I am and show you who I am, and let you make a decision whether or not I'm someone that makes sense to you in what I'm doing, or someone you could learn from, or someone who what I'm sharing gives you an insight into who you are or what you want to do. That's what I do, you know. Now what you do it probably will totally be different. The people you have or create as an audience will probably be totally different. And all that's okay. All that's okay. But you should have an audience, should create an audience that people can know, like, and trust you, right? And you can say that you're a businessman. And that's what you want to be, a businessman, right? You want to have your own, right? You don't want to be always working for someone else. Sometimes you would like to have your own. This is mine. All this is mine. And that's not from an egoic or selfish perspective, because I share that thought with people a lot too, because as you start to attain a certain level of success in life, people have a tendency to become egoic. You know, like, it's me, it's me, it's me, I did this, I did that, I did, you know, and I fight against that. I fight against that with everything I have, because I'm a humble person, and I work to remain humble, but I also work to achieve. I work to strive and become successful. But there's a hard little balance there once you start to actually attain, you know, some of the things that you're working toward, because people treat you differently. You know, the system treats you differently. You're rewarded in a way that, sometimes you want to say, thank you very much. Yes, I thank you very much. But, you can't say, well, you that because of that, right? You the man because, you have a $50,000 contract, a $100,000, speaking engagement. You have to remain humble at all times. So I always create systems to pull me back, hold me back, because, like I say, my initial understanding of things was to, okay, acknowledge that, embrace that, right? And that's good sometimes, but, just a little bit, and then pull back. Then do something else. Go over there. Face that direction, and you won't be worrying about or receiving all that love and all that so much directly. It'll be kind of like, I know it's there, but I'm not going to look at it. Right? All right, I'm going to share that with you, and I'm going to say, like this video, share this video. And that's the final video of this week. Hope you enjoyed this little segment. As I say, this week was very interesting because it began the first video of my second quarter of my 200 videos and 365-day process. But I just come back from a vacation, right? A little hiatus. And all that together set me back a little bit. When I say set me back, when I take a vacation, I like to just take a vacation. I don't really like to do a lot of business on vacation. I like to do what I want to do. I like for the system to keep running, but I don't want to be doing a whole lot right now, right? So that's what I do. I don't do a whole lot when I'm on vacation. But now that I'm back, I'm ready to go. I look forward to seeing you and you too for the next 50 videos. My name is Larry James. My company is SpeakerLarry.com. And as always, share with someone else what I've shared with you.